Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, and this is Thursday Morning Live. Hope you are doing well today, and your week is going strong for you, and you've been being intentional, right, about what you're doing and how you're taking action on a daily basis. Hey, before we get going this morning, I'd like to remind you or let you know that this weekend. Saturday, I am doing a live webinar event. It's a 90-minute multifamily presentation. I'm going to do a deep dive into 7 systems and techniques. You know, I believe in the multifamily business, we need 3 top techniques, but I'm going to talk about 7 on Saturday. And we're going to really go into depth on some of that. So I'll talk about some real estate investing, some systems around that, multifamily techniques and systems. I'm going to talk about the difference between active and passive marketing, or active and passive investing, and a couple other things. So if you need to get registered for that, reach out to me, drop me a message, and I'll get the link over to you for that. Today, I'm excited about my guest. You know, on this show, I love to bring local area business owners to the Chicago market. Sometimes we stray from that a little bit, which is okay. But if you are somebody who's a Chicago area business owner, whether you're a contractor or a restaurant owner, you own a venue, I'd love to have you on and just kind of talk about business and growing a business and what the environment's like today, and talk about your business a little bit. So if you think it would benefit you to be here, reach out to me and let me know. This morning, my guest is Eric Marie. Eric is with Get an Eric. He is a contractor, handyman, services Chicago and the Chicago suburbs. So let's bring Eric in and get this show going. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Good to finally meet you and connect. And
nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hey, so Eric, as I get going and we start, I always like to ask one question, and I keep saying I'm going to write a book on this, but I haven't. I kind of started, but one word, what best describes you personally and professionally?
No, it's a direct, just straight questions, straight answers, no BS.
Okay, so you're direct. That's okay. You could say BS. You could say worse if you want. Totally up to you, though.
Okay.
Direct. So, do you think that that's a skill you learned over years, or is that something that, you got from growing up, your parents, or?
Well, I think it's age. It comes to a time where, it just, I'm 50 and just don't have that much time. It just, and I think it's also out of respect for clients. Sometimes they might not like the answer, but they actually might need it. Instead of being a contractor and trying to sell, I usually ask them, why do they want to do it? And if I think it's not a good idea, I will tell them. If they want us to do it, we'll still do it, but just at least they know.
Yeah. So it sounds like you are not only direct, but you're pretty honest and operate kind of from a place of integrity.
Oh, we try to as much as possible. It's as a contractor, we have a bad rep altogether. Especially. It's difficult now, but sometimes we don't get called back because I'm too direct. But I just rather. It's better.
Yeah, I understand that. So let's talk a little bit about your background. How did you wind up in the business you're in, the handyman services? And
that's an odd story. I actually was a chef for almost 30 years, and I kind of quit because, unfortunately, even managing a lot of people, you don't make a lot of money as a chef, period. And I started on TaskRabbit around 7, 8 years ago, and I start connecting with really, really big clients, which had multiple units all over the country, and I had to open an LLC and get started, pretty much. And then we expanded. We don't build from the ground up, but we fix anything. And if we don't, I'm lucky to have some really nice people around me to help, and we think the same. So we'll try to just be honest and be fair.
Yeah. That seems like a big shift for me from cooking souffle to cutting 2x4s.
Well, yes, but also no. I mean, like running a kitchen or restaurant, you got to fix problems every single time, every single day, every single hours. I mean, you have to be resourceful, and it could be about employees, or it could be something breaking down in the kitchen. So altogether, it's really kind of the same. We have to find a solution and figure it out.
Yeah, interesting. So, before you went into the business that you're in, were you handy around the house? Did you know
Yeah.
how to do things? Did you go to school or?
So I mean, I'm really good at learning, and I see I'm looking at one thing, and usually I can definitely easily replicate, which actually really helped me in the kitchen. And the same thing here. So I'm far from knowing everything, especially when it comes to that business. But I learned one thing is you have to surround yourself of people that knows what you don't. So, and that's pretty much how we get it going. My electrician is awesome guy, and I learned a lot from him, and it's just learn and go. If I don't know, I'll find out.
Yeah, awesome. Good for you. So, Eric, obviously, you don't have a Chicago accent, and so where are you from, and how long have you been here?
So originally I'm from Paris, and I moved to the U.S. to Philly, actually in '98,
Okay.
and moved around quite a lot. I did Philly, New York, Miami, Chicago, Phoenix, and back to Chicago, and that's home. That's where I live with my fiance and my son, and we try to make it work.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Hey, so how'd you wind up in Chicago? You said you got to Philly and you spent some time there. What brought you to Chicago?
Actually, nothing especially. I was in Miami, and one day I decided then I need to go somewhere else. I pretty much went to the airport with no idea where I was going and moved to Chicago.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
That's an interesting journey, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, when you're young and single, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Hey, I just want to say, there's a bunch of people online this morning. Love to hear from you. Throw in the comments or the chat who you are and where you're from. And, if you have any questions about repairs around the house or some construction that you're trying to do, throw those in the chat too, and we'll get Eric to answer those for you this morning. So, Eric, talk about Get an Eric and talk about your business a little bit and what services you provide, what do you like to do, maybe what you don't like to do.
Well, Get an Eric, so don't want to sound arrogant, but actually a customer came up with that. They had multiple units all over the country, and the CFO actually would start going to Miami, Alabama, and places and tell the other managers then they wouldn't need to get an Eric because we would be taking care of all the properties here in Chicago. And it was doing really, really well. We were really doing a good job. So they would tell the other managers from other properties and other locations to get an Eric. So we expanded over there. That was unfortunately before COVID. So Miami and all that, we had to shut down because it didn't go so well after that. So what we do, there's no small job. I do get clients sometimes to call us to change a switch or to gut a whole business and redo them. You know, if it's just a switch, most likely I might be me or one of the handymen just showing up and taking care of it. Um, because, well, you don't know what's going to come after that. You know, you just want to make sure then people are taken care of. And there's too many contractors that won't do any jobs because it's too small. Then what do they do? You know, those clients. So I usually meet everybody. I'm on site of every location every day. I might not be the one doing the work, but I will be there so the client can see me every day, no matter what. That's who we are.
Awesome. So we have somebody watching who put a comment in, and they're asking, does Eric service areas like South Shore, Kenwood, Bronzeville? Those
Yes.
are new, yeah.
We do Chicago suburbs, north side, south side. In any location, then we do the work. I'm the first one to go, no matter what. I do want to make sure then wherever we go, everybody is safe, employees especially, because obviously that's important. But we do everywhere, and we don't bill depending on the zip code. It doesn't matter where you are. Everybody's getting the same price, period.
That's a great philosophy. Good for you. So Vern, you could see at the bottom, streaming across the bottom, that you can get a hold of Eric at his website, which is getaneric.com. Go there, fill out the form, and Eric will give you a call and see if he can't help you with your needs. Thanks for asking that this morning, though. Hey, anybody else out online? You have questions, comments, throw them in the chat. Love to hear from you this morning. So Eric, what's it, I always like to have the question about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. What's it like for you to be a business owner today in today's environment where we came out of this great robust market and things were awesome for everybody, but now we're in this space that business isn't as good and things are a little bit different. What's it like for you to be a business owner today?
So funny thing is, so obviously I wish COVID did not happen because we were thriving there right before that. It's really weird now. Business is good. It's really busy. The issue is not business on my side, at least, is if I could hire 50 employees right now, I would have work for 50 employees. I just can't find a lot of labor or a lot of, how do you say that? Just labor that makes sense. You know, I come across a lot of people who would ask me to get paid 80, $100 an hour. I just can't pay employees that much. We have a very good rate than we pay employees, but I just can't find enough people to work.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things as a business owner today in today's world, in today's economy, is that people, it's hard to find skilled tradesmen, and it's hard to find people to work.
Well, actually, even I don't need skilled tradesmen. I have enough people around who have the talent. We even would actually hire people who know nothing, and we will train them. You know, obviously, little by little. Obviously, I'm not going to hire somebody off the street and make them an electrician. But there is a lot of labor needed, and fortunately, I can't find any. I mean, yes, we can find some, but there would be where we're not supposed to go, pretty much. So, you know, in a parking lot of Home Depot and things like that, which is, you know, problem with immigration and all. So it's great being an entrepreneur. It's, I'm not going to complain. It's, I'm in better shape than a lot of people, but it's not easy. It's an issue every day, if it's not every other hour, so you just got to be able to deal with the stress and the issues.
Yeah. So interesting. So, what's everybody talks about Avatar, and let me back up for a minute. I want to make a comment. You talked about being direct, and it sounds like you run a very ethical based business, and that people come to you because of your work and your talent, your skill. I had my air conditioning went out a couple of weeks ago, and I've been traveling so much that I haven't had a chance to have somebody come out. So I had somebody come out and look at it, and the guy comes out. He tells me that I have a leak in my air conditioning and that my Freon is down 7 or 8 pounds. Well, anybody who knows anything about air conditioning knows that a typical condenser only holds about 5 pounds of Freon. And so right away, I knew that he wasn't going to be the guy that I was going to use, but I did find someone else to come out and repair it. And he said, yeah, you only need 2 pounds. And it was like a third of what the other guy was going to charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when you are in business and when you do a good job for your clients and you are honest and trustworthy, boy, your business just never ends. And I found that back when I was in the construction business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. We don't get it 100% all the time. We do have some clients which were not satisfied. If we have if we have messed up something, there is not a time when we would not come back and fix it. We make mistakes. There's no doubt about it. You just have to be responsible. That's what I teach my son. So it would make me a hypocrite not to do so. It's just that simple. Um, Unfortunately, we can't please everybody, and we cannot serve everyone just because, well, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we're constrained by that. At the end of the day, any client, you got to go with your gut feeling. If you think there's something off with that person, that contractor that is in the front of you, then move on and go to somebody else. You got to follow your guts. Even if you don't know what's going on, obviously you might not know anything about HVAC or electrical or anything like that, but people know about people. So if you're not comfortable with the person who is going to do the work for you, move on. And if somebody's not comfortable with me, I don't want them to do work with me because it's going to be hell, because they're going to question every single step we're going to do. And I would rather not.
Yeah. So you guys do everything, huh? You'll come out and paint a room or change a light switch or put a new roof on a house.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't, but I was lucky enough to meet some guys who think the same and have their own corporation. And sometimes I work with them, or sometimes I just give the contact to that client or to that business. So, and I'm French. I mean, I don't trust a lot of people. So I really have to trust those people to be able to just give a number. And so yeah, I mean, HVAC, roofing, tuck pointing, and everything inside. I mean, we had just gutted a building with 8 apartments, and we did everything from electrical to everything. So
I'm Polish and kind of feel the same way. So
there you go.
hey, I have to say one of the best places I've ever been has been Paris.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
It's a nice place.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a great time there. Top of the Eiffel Tower, and going to the Louvre. Funny story about the Louvre, right? Wanted to go get in line early to go see the Mona Lisa, and get over there at like 5 o'clock, and like nobody's there. Nobody's in
Mhm.
line. And by the time they opened the doors at like, because everybody said, "Oh, go get in line early, get there by 5:30 in the morning," and you know, and so got in line. Nobody's there. We're the first ones in line, and they opened the door, and there was probably 6 or 8 people behind us. But we ran through the museum to go see the Mona Lisa, and it was like nobody was there. It was so
Yeah.
funny, you know.
Yeah, we were there last year actually. So, yeah, it's if I can give an advice for anyone who wants to go there for the Louvre or the Eiffel Tower or anything like that, buy the tickets online before you go to Paris. Meaning, when you book your flight, book it online. Or my brother actually, which I don't know what came to him, went to see my mom in Paris and decided to go to the Eiffel Tower. And it took him 2 hours to get the ticket because for some reason he decided not to buy it online.
Uh,
Uh, Go online, pick a time, and then show up a half an hour early, and then just go up right away. Pretty much,
you
it
still have,
helps.
you still have family back there?
Yeah, everybody's there. Actually, I got three brothers. One is in Switzerland, and two are in uh, France.
And do you get back often?
Try to. We won't this year, but we usually. My son is a huge fan. I mean, he's half French and he's really proud of that. So the Eiffel Tower is one place, and no matter what, we go every time we go to Paris. He's just really addicted to it, and yeah, so we try to go back, but it's easier for us. I mean, we fly and we have family everywhere, so we don't have to pay for hotels and things like that. So makes it easier. It's like I would assume if you go back home, you have family over there too.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Good for you. So, Eric, who do you prefer to work with, or do you have a perfect client? But would you rather work with a homeowner, or would you rather work with an investor who's doing a rehab, or a contractor and be a subcontractor to somebody?
I have no preferences. I mean, and sometimes we do a little bit of work for renters, meaning like hanging a TV or anything like that. Um, it'd be nice for renters to understand that they cannot modify units without the owner's permission. So that's the first question I always ask: do you own the house? And then if it's a renter, I'll try to explain to them. If it's an investor's, it's different because they're a little more strict when it comes to finance, because all they want to do is just turn around. It's not then a place then they live in. They're not doing that because they want to make their everyday life better. But we do, I mean, work with a lot of real estate agents for people who wants to sell their house. We try to do the strict minimum because they don't want to be spending that much money, which we do understand. And sometimes even a family house. I don't know the financial situation of anyone, and I think a lot of contractor needs to understand that they need to be respectful. Sometimes people really need to do some work, but by not have a massive amount of finance to do the work. So we're trying to adapt and make sure that what needs to be done is done, and then everything fancy on the side and just uh, something which is not that important. Plumbing and electrical will take care of, especially plumbing. When there's a problem, usually we show up right away, because if we don't, then it's going to be much more expensive. But we have to try to understand that not everybody can actually afford that plumbing, and we try to adapt.
Yeah,
So any situation that try not to judge, just it.
yeah, awesome. Good for you. So tell people again, Eric, how they get a hold of you.
Getineric.com. Usually that's the best way. We have a Facebook page as well, but if you go on that website, there's a sheet, an application that you can fill up and put your information, and then we'll contact you. It's been a bit busy, so it might take a little bit of time right now, but soon then we can find more employees. We'll reply faster, guys. I promise you.
Well, awesome. Anybody listening in this morning looking for a job could give Eric a call if you're looking for some repairs or need some major work done around your place. Go to Eric's website and fill out that form. Do you still get a chance to cook?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the family to cook for, every night. My son likes to bake also, so we do stuff together. Yes.
I One thing about Paris that I really liked was going in the bakeries in the morning and
Yeah.
the baked croissants and chocolate filled croissants and
There's a few now in Chicago, which there is definitely one which when I need my bread, that's the only place I go to. It's just an amazing bakery for sure.
where's that at? So, one of
It's
the final questions I ask is a favorite restaurant or a favorite tourist attraction. Where's that at?
that bakery. It's called La Fournette. Lafournettee. It's it's on Wells and it's south of North Avenue. That guy is just awesome. I mean, I met him when he was a teacher at the French pastry school. But I mean, if you want bread, that's just it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you know him and you think he'd be a great guest on the show, let me know. I'd love to connect with him.
Yeah.
So, hey, Eric, best tourist attraction. Can't be anything in France.
Best tourist attraction. You know, in the US or Chicago? I just,
Yeah, Chicago really, because we're
yeah.
Chicago centric. So
Uh, God, I mean, I think Chicago is an amazing place to just take a bike and or take a walk and just look at the architecture and things like that. Jennifer Brennan and I have a tendency every year we do bike the drive. You're on a lakeshore drive at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning when your sun is rising, and it's just amazing. I mean, we love doing that one. Yes, it's a lot, 15 or 30 miles, but it's just you can see Chicago how it is just is with no cars around anything like that. It's I love it, and I love Millennium Park. Millennium Park, I have good memories over there.
yeah, awesome. Good for you. Well, thanks for being here this morning. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you and your candor, being direct. I love that. So I'm going to move you out to the back room. I'm going to say goodbye. If you hang with me for a minute, we'll just I'll be there in a
You
second.
you
Okay.
got it.
Thanks. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here this morning. And if you're new to the show, glad that you were here today. So click the subscribe button on YouTube, and you'll always get notified when we're going to go live. If you're on LinkedIn and you're following me, you'll get notified when we go live. So, follow us on social media. We're always bringing content out, good business owners, good business information, knowledge, things that will benefit you and help you in your day-to-day life. Glad that you're here. Remember, if you're in a real estate business, if you're trying to be a brand new real estate agent, a real estate investor, or you already are doing some investing, looking to go into the multifamily business, on Saturday this week, I'm doing a 90-minute live training, be a webinar on Zoom. Shoot me a message. I will get you a link for that to get registered. It's a free event. And we're going to talk about multifamily investing, the 7 key principles to active and passive real estate investing in multifamily and creating generational wealth for yourself. So I'll look forward to seeing you this weekend. I will see you next week on Thursday morning live. And everybody have a great week.